Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. You know, the other day I came at you with some bad news when Amy Coney Barrett turned traitor and sided with the Biden administration on 80% lowers. Well, today I'm going to even it out by coming at you with some good news. It seems the Fifth Circuit Appellate Court has now declared that you cannot deny someone the right to own a gun simply because they use illegal drugs. There was a gentleman who was charged with being in possession of guns and being an admitted marijuana user, and the Fifth Circuit Appellate Court has overturned that conviction and said that there is no historical context for denying someone a Second Amendment right simply because they use illicit substances. Now, the Justice Department tried to argue that, because we can tell people that you can't be out in public while intoxicated with a gun, we can obviously say that you can't have guns if you smoke marijuana. Since it's an illegal substance, you're actually a criminal. Well, the appellate court didn't buy that. They said those two things are completely unrelated. And that's not even what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about whether there's a historical precedence that if someone uses illegal substances, they can't own a gun. And there isn't. Which not only is this a slap in the face of the laws that say that, and the 4473 where it even asks that question, you're disqualified if you use them, it's a slap in the face of those laws and those regulations, but it's also a slap in the face of politicians who are wanting to make it now to where if you get a DUI, you can't own a gun because, that was an illegal use of alcohol. Because you drank alcohol and then drove a car. Well, not the same things. And also, like I said, this is a slap in the face of all that. Because there's no historic precedent for any of that. And this is what's going to be happening here more and more. As long as we don't have traitorous judges like ACB siding with the oppressors, you're going to see more and more that these laws that don't have any historic precedent, that were just written into law in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, etc., are not constitutional. This is just one more. And it doesn't make sense that someone should be disqualified for smoking marijuana from owning guns. Because how many times have you ever seen someone smoke a joint and go on a rampage? Doesn't happen. Alcohol is far more likely to fuel violence than marijuana. Very seldom is marijuana involved in violent crimes. Alcohol is involved in most of them. So it doesn't make sense in its root. It's just one of those, Christian morality laws. Drugs are bad, which was, they used the Christian right to push through this stuff because it was bad for certain businesses. That's the only reason marijuana is even illegal. I believe any person should be able to put what they want into their body as long as they're not hurting somebody else. I'm not everybody's babysitter, and the government shouldn't be either. So if you're one of those people who's like, I believe in everybody's freedom, but I don't think they should be able to smoke marijuana, well, then you might want to reevaluate your principles, because why would you or the government have the right to tell them not to do that? Especially if you're okay with people drinking a beer. You might want to examine your principles there, because you might not be as much in support of freedom as you think you are. There's a big difference between being in support of freedom and being in support of people being free to do the things you agree with. So, like I said, this is a huge victory. How it's going to affect the 4473 eventually is going to be yet to be seen, because how are they going to keep asking that question if it's an unconstitutional question? I don't think they're going to be able to. Seems like there's a lot of things, if this continues on the 4473, that, not going to be a thing anymore. No non-violent offender should ever be denied the right to own a gun. And violent offenders should only be denied when they're incarcerated. It's like someone said, would you think someone who's had 3 DUIs should still be able to have a gun? I'm like, no, because they should be in prison. People who are violent and dangerous, and drunk drivers are dangerous. They're putting their illness, allowing their illness to put other people in danger. So they should be locked up if they're repeat offenders. And while they're locked up, they can't buy guns. Why? Because you can't get to a gun shop. So I agree with that 100%. If someone is a violent offender and they're incarcerated, they shouldn't be able to own guns. That's pretty much the only gun law I agree with. And that's not really even got to be a law, because like I said, if you're in prison, you can't buy guns because you can't get to the gun shop. So I just wanted to go on here today and say another victory in a long line of victories. It's so easy to focus on the bad things, but we should focus on a lot of the good things. Now, this doesn't mean we get complacent or stop fighting, because the left is getting reckless. The left is getting, what's the word I'm searching for right here? Desperate. And nothing's more dangerous than a wounded animal. And right now the left is a wounded animal. So we have to step up our activities, step up our involvement, and be more aware of what's going on, because this is when they're going to try some pretty stupid stuff. And even though we can tear down what they build, we still have to watch, and it's best to stop them from building it to begin with, which means we should be going on the offensive. Instead of just sitting back and letting them be on the offense and craft new garbage, we should be going on the offense to where they're spending all their time trying to stop our progress and trying to deal with what we're doing. But, that's a different video altogether. Like I said, I don't want to get this video to be negative, because, like I said, big win when the courts have decided here that you cannot deny someone their gun rights because they smoke marijuana. That was a huge victory for us, and I think it's just one of many victories we've had already, and one of many victories to come. All right, before I go, I got one more thing I want to say here. I don't usually make politically motivated t-shirts. Not something I really like to do. I like to keep my stuff light and whimsical. I like to support the Second Amendment without getting mired down in ugly politics. I like things like my Save the 40s campaign shirts, my Winnie the Pooh shirts, my El Kabang, all the shirts I make with little puppies and kitties and stuff on it. I like stuff like that. I like to be colorful, whimsical, kind of upbeat. But I had 3 people ask me to make a very specific shirt. And since that's 3 sales right off the bat, if they're true to their words, that's $30 for TYMP. So I thought I'd go ahead and make this shirt. Now, a lot of you are probably not going to like it because it is political. But as I mentioned in this video and in a video the other day, Amy Coney Barrett has made a habit out of betraying the Second Amendment and the Constitution. And I don't know about you, I'm getting tired of these people telling us what they want to hear while they're trying to get the job. But then once they get the job, they go back to supporting big business and the billionaires and ignoring the people and the Constitution. So I am making the Amy Coney Barrett Trader shirt. And for the 3 people who want it, it is up now. Go over and get it. If anybody else wants it, go over and get it too. Because I know I'm going to get one and I'm going to wear it. And a lot of people might not like this shirt, but here's the reality. She keeps consistently saying anti-Second Amendment, anti-constitutional things, ruling on positively for things that are unconstitutional. And I'm sick of it, so I made the shirt. Like I said, going to sell 3 of them. So at the very least, that's $30 for TYMP. And TYMP, if you don't know, is an organization we run that helps provide people who can't afford it the chance to own a firearm and not be victims to their circumstances. And not only does it help people not be victims, but hopefully it introduces an entire bloodline, a whole family, to the pros of gun ownership and helps the future generation be more positively pro-gun. So if you want to buy that t-shirt I just made, or any of my other lighter-hearted t-shirts, and you want to support TYMP, go on over. There's a link in the upper corner of this video. Anything you purchase helps support TYMP. But right now, the new shirt is the Amy Coney Barrett Trader shirt. And with that being said, I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.